is going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of One Deck, 1 Month. And this series is going to be very, very exciting because this is a first for One Deck, 1 Month. This is our first time ever revisiting a deck that we've already covered in this series. And Speedroid, for those that don't know, was a deck that I think we covered in the second installment of One Deck, 1 Month ever. So I am super, super excited. And why are we revisiting Speedroids, you might be wondering? Well, that's because this set right here, Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm, actually just released. And as of today, as I'm recording this video, I've already opened 5 boxes of my own, and I've opened a box for a friend. And I've pretty much gotten everything I've needed out of those 5 boxes I opened for myself, except 1 Baron de Fleur. But I cracked my friend's box that I copped for him at a store, and he pulled the Baron. Now, thankfully, he's a very nice individual, and he's going to let me borrow it for this coming locals, and all the locals following after that, until I can get my own copy, of course, which I should be getting very, very soon. So shout outs to him for letting me borrow it, letting his Baron be sort of the village bicycle for now. But so excited to be back on this deck. New support cards we got include Duplicate, Speedroid Wheel, Ultra Hound. We also got Cork Shooter in the extra deck, which is an insane level 3 synchro that when it's summoned, we can either add a Speedroid spell or trap from deck to hand, or we can summon back the materials we used for its synchro summon if they're all Speedroid monsters and if they're all still in the graveyard. Obviously, the card is nuts. It's a tuner itself. Insane. Absolutely mind-boggling card. We also got Baron as a new boss monster, and we got the mighty Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Unfortunately, I didn't pull a ghost, but a friend of mine did, and I may get it off of him, but, you know, maybe I should just save my money and spend it on other things. But, yeah, lots of exciting news to start this episode off. So much exciting news. And Imperium actually just came out with brand new tournament-ready sleeves. And they kind of remind me of KMC Hypermats. They're actually white on the inside and white on the back. I've been waiting for Imperium to make these types of sleeves for a long time. I've loved their sleeves in the past, you know, the white on the back, the red on the inside, but something about a sleeve with the white inside and the white border around the card, it just makes cards look so good. I don't know what it is. Might really seem like a very insignificant and obscure thing, but I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to go ahead and sleeve up my deck right now in those new sleeves. And I'm going to go ahead and put all the new cards in and take out all of these proxies. Finally can get rid of those. And yeah, so excited for this month to start, guys. So excited. And just like that, pretty much the entire deck is all sleeved up. There's still some other cards that I'm waiting on, like Crossout Designators and a third Forbidden Droplet. By the way, shoutouts to Cadillacs84 for hooking me up on a good deal on a set of Crossout Designators. So if you're watching this, thank you very much, man. You, sir, are the GOAT. But as for these sleeves, right, you always got to do a shuffle test when you get new sleeves. Let me just go ahead and grab 5 cards here off the top. I'm one of these type of guys. I like to do a little hand shuffle. And if I'm doing a hand shuffle like this, I think that feels perfect. I think it feels good, just like any other sleeve I've used. But take the cards like this, and we shuffle. Now, something I've noticed with sleeves like this, not even just sleeves in general, right? Sometimes when you shuffle like this, because this is like the most common way that I shuffle my deck, or doing one of these. But the biggest issue I've noticed is like when you go like this, and the cards come into the other set of cards, is the corners will catch. Which usually doesn't mean anything bad happens. Sometimes it makes the sleeves split if you do it hard enough. But not a single catch on any of these sleeves, which I have noticed that happen on some Dragon Shield sleeves. I'm not saying Dragon Shield sleeves aren't good, because I have been using the double sleeve ones for a little while. But if anything's going to get me off the double sleeves, I think it's going to be these sleeves, because I just shuffled that maybe 20 times and not a single snag. So really solid. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the extra deck all sleeved up. And I'll probably be filming a deck profile very soon. And if you guys want to see my current up-to-date Speedroid deck profile, I'll leave a link to it up here in the top right, or it might be over here for you guys to check out. So definitely go watch that right now if you haven't seen it yet. Welcome everybody to our Tuesday match recap. I am filming this in a bit of a different way in hopes to make editing this segment a little bit easier and less time consuming / tedious. Yeah, we had a pretty decent run at our locals this Tuesday, and I wanted to go over some of these matches here with you guys. Talk about the good, the bad, and the in-between. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So here we are in round 1, and we were playing against Tri Brigade, I believe, and we go to the die roll here. Yeah, I actually did lose the die roll by, I think, a factor of 2. I rolled a 5, he rolled a 7, so I lose die roll, and he goes first. My opening hand is double droplet, Tekatomborg, Tetherwolf, and Imperm. So, like, my hand is more than equipped to go into his Tri Brigade board. I'm expecting at least, like, Appaloosa, Revolt, and maybe one other set at most. And with his hand, I probably can play through it, depending on his knowledge of my deck, which is probably very limited. So we'll just go ahead and fast forward here. He does the standard plays. He gets to Appaloosa for 2. I think he's probably new to Tri Brigade just by the way he, like, made his board, because he used like double Dragon Lords and Bearbrum to make Appaloosa, which I don't really see being done that often, because like that's an interruption that you just kind of waste by linking off for Appaloosa. So like, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but I don't think so. So he goes and sets the Revolt plus another card. So in my draw for turn is another droplet. Like, some of the draws I've been having with this deck sometimes, man, it just seems like almost like too bad to be true, I guess, but it is what it is. So I lead with the Imperm. It forces out a Judgment, which is like, okay, that's not too bad. I summon out Tetherwolf, effect to go ahead and summon out a token, then I just go Battle Phase to clear over the Appaloosa. And then I go ahead and summon out Tekatomborg, and he actually activates Revolt, summons back 4, and does Omen and all of his chain links, and I go chain link. I think it was chain link 3 droplet or chain link 4 droplet, send droplet, hit the Omen, and from there we're pretty much off to the races. Tekatomborg is going to tag for Duke, and since we had to use Duke or Tekatomborg to get Duke access here early on, we're going to not be able to end on Crystal Wing Baron. It should just be Baron or Crystal Clearwing here. So yeah, I linked those two into a copy of Rubber Band Shooter. And I had to because I was playing Tetherworld. Otherwise, I could have technically summoned Red Eye Dice and then done everything without burning the link, but I was playing Tetherwolf here still. So we banish the Pegasus, reveal a 7. Unlucky path, we get the Terratopter hand, but we just need the Terratop to resolve. Duke summons out Dice. Target the Terratop, make it level 3. Cork Shooter, bring back the materials. Target the Cork Shooter here, make it a level 6. Synchro for Puzzle to secure that end phase add back. I honestly think that securing the end phase add back off a puzzle is like, I want to say like 10 times more important than having a card like Wind Pegasus in your graveyard. Like, that's just my view, because like adding back a card like, you know, Double Yo-Yo or Terratop for the following turn, like if they clear your field, you have Terratop to keep going. So good. And then any speed recoveries or hounds on top of that is just bonus, right? Plenty of follow-up is exactly what you need. So I summon out the Baron. Baron effect to go ahead and pop his Nerval. He already used Nerval this turn, so wasn't worried about him getting the effect. And then I set another droplet, I think, and pass turn. And then he starts off with Fractal, dump, Kit, dump Nerval, add Karas. I'm like, okay, this is all fine. Don't care till I see the normal summon. And then he goes normal Karas, I think, or he might have spec'd it out. Yeah, no, he spec'd out Karas by pitching Fractal. And negate with the Baron. And then I think he goes Battle Phase here. And I go the Forbidden Droplet, sending off the Link to go ahead and negate his Omen. Negate in half, so he can't crash into my Baron. Then during my standby phase, I actually used Baron's effect here. And this is like one reason like playing Fukimadoshi Piper seems really nice. Is like, this is a bad example because there's no other wins on field, but like sometimes like if you have Fuki set up in grave, you can use Baron to like tag out either during the opponent's turn if you had to burn the negate during your turn to protect from like Imperm or Nibiru, right? Like a really strong blowout card, whatever it may be. You can just tag into Fukimadoshi Piper during their turn, and then possibly resolve like a Pot of Duality or, you know, whatever on their turn and like take a card. It could be a hand trap, could be follow up, whatever it may be. But I attempt to bring back Terror Top, and he has a Bell. But I still have the double yo-yo that I added back during my end phase that still gets me Terror Top effect to go ahead and grab Tekatomborg here. And this is like the hard part, trying to figure out how to close game here. I don't have Duke access, but I can easily get to Duke access. I also wasn't playing Virtual World Beast here, which I kind of wish I was going back, because I could make Juju and then actually send off the Omen. He gets a search, but don't really care about that, to be totally honest. Either way, I go into Charge Warrior, and what do I draw off the Charge Warrior? Not actually sure what I draw there. Okay, so I think I drew Fukimadoshi Piper actually off of my Stardust Charge Warrior, which is kind of funny. Because I have Card Turbo in hand too, so like I could technically like summon the Card Turbo and actually use Duke to bring out the Piper and reveal 4. And then I have like a Synchro 8 for Kite Drake, and then a Synchro 9 with the Charge Warrior for Shen Shen. So like those are all options, but I'm not sure if I was playing Shen Shen here actually. Because I am recording this far in advance from actually this Tuesday locals, because there's been a lot going on. But I actually use Duke here to bring out Dice, and then I go into a Hagoita, summon out Card Turbo, go for Crystal Wing, and then Card Turbo boost everything, and then Battle Phase attack over. I don't even need to use Baron to destroy, just because like he's only at 31 because of the Judgment and the damage he took over Zapalooza. So that's game 1. Pretty okay, like still a little awkward at learning some of these play lines, like what to do there on my third turn. Opening hand, game 3, I had Lancia, Card Turbo, Marble Machine, Nibiru, and the Wheel. My opponent opens Tanky, and I think he pretty much, he doesn't do much actually through the Lancia. He just summons Kit and sets one and passes. And then I lead with Wheel. What do I roll off my Wheel? Let's see here. What do I roll off Wheel? Yeah, my opponent tries to droll me, but I quickly remind him that he can't droll me because I haven't added anything for my deck yet. So he goes ahead and puts the droll back in his hand. Then we roll. I roll a 3. So I could get like either a Duke here on the field or a Marble Machine and another Dice. But I don't think I was playing 2 Dice here. Maybe I was. But we just summon out the Duke from the deck, so we go minus there. But it's fine because I have access to Marble Machine, so I'm like okay with it. And then Marble Machine goes ahead and searches me Tekatomborg. He then drolls me there, which is fine. Don't really care too much. So here I think I could just make like a Hagoita into a Crystal Wing, or go for like even double Crystal Wing here, which is like pretty strong against this deck. And I also have access to Tekatomborg too, so like Fukimadoshi Piper is always an option here too, to try to dig into more extenders / hand traps. So we summon out Tekatomborg, and he actually imperms it on the summon, which hurts a little bit, but I go ahead and then, you know, Duke out the Dice. Here I could actually probably, yeah, I was going to say I could Synchro for the Cork Blaster here, bring back those cards. And then this is, again, another example of, like, really difficult to decide what to do with the cards here, but I guess not so much, because I can make this a 6, Synchro these into Puzzle, Synchro those into Baron, and then summon Card Turbo, make Crystal Wing. So that still should be Baron Crystal Wing here if I see that, but I make Crystal Wing Clear Wing? And then I make Baron? That was strange. So watching this back does not make much sense. I decide to make this a 6 for some reason. Like, that's strange. Because I have Card Turbo in hand in hand 2 here. So, like, I should have made this a 6. And then Synchro these into Puzzle. Make Baron. Or I could have done this, made Pegasus, and then make Baron with the Pegasus and the Cork Shooter. Then summon the Card Turbo and make... the what's it called, the Crystal Wing there. Yeah, that was strange. I don't know, or I could have made double Crystal Wing Pegasus, like I could have done that too, or fast or a Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, but instead I made Crystal Wing, and I mean I still get to Crystal Wing Baron, but like in like the least optimal way possible. I go Battle Phase. Swinging with everything, he goes Caress, I negate with Crystal Wing, and he scoops there. So that's game 1. Relatively easy. I was also playing Cockadoodle-Doo in the main deck too because of the Tether Wolf play, where you have Tether Wolf plus 2 extenders can get you Baron before you do anything else, like Baron on your 4th or 5th summon. So that's why I was playing the Cockadoodle-Doo. Also helps play around Tikaboo. because going second into a board, if you have a machine plus cock-a-doodle-doo, which is a winged beast, you can synchro into Pegasus with a 3 and a 4 because it becomes a 4 if your opponent has something. Is the only person to have a monster while you summon it, and then you can go into the Cybers, which is when Pegasus for back removal. So that's round 1. Let's take a look at round 2. So here we are in round 2, and another dice roll that does not go in my favor. So we lose die roll there, and we ended up playing against Tri-Brigade again. He goes Fractal. I start with the Ash immediately. I think Ash on Fractal is really, really strong just because you don't have an opportunity really to Ash anywhere else. Like the Rescue Cat, they might have Gamma. Arguably they could have Gamma here too, but like if they have it, they have it. Again, there's no other good spot to Ash in my personal opinion. But like hitting the Fractal is good because that puts them on needing Caress and another body, and it leaves them with only one name engraved to be able to banish. So like I think it's really, really strong. Word of caution, though, because they could have something like Talents very early on or something like Gamma. But then again, like, if they have it, they have it. There's just, like, no other good spot to Ash. And I want to see if he drew Gamma off of that. No, he has Gamma in his opening hand, if I see that correctly. And he just didn't Gamma. That's strange. That's very, very strange that he didn't Gamma there. Yeah, no, because that Gamma was in his hand. I don't know what his plan was there, but he definitely could have Gammaed me, but let's keep moving on. All right, so fast forward. Obviously, he's not able to do much through the early Ash there in his Fractal. He gets double Dragon Lords with the Karas in one set. And he does have quite a few hand traps in hand. I think from what we saw, he had the Gamma Nib, and I start with the Car Turbo, going ahead discarding Win and the Car Turbo. And that actually does resolve here because, again, he cannot Gamma me right now because he has monsters. That grabs me Terratop. We summon Terratop. Terratop effect does not resolve. Yeah, because he actually bounces the Terratop back to my hand, which I was like, okay, that's all right because I haven't normal summoned yet, and I still have Marble Machine and Tether. So basically what I can do here now is like normal summon the Tether Wolf. Get the token, and then summon Car Turbo, Synchro into Baron, and then summon Talk and keep going. Yeah, because I have another Car Turbo in hand, so this hand's like really, really strong. But like it eats up a lot of extenders and resources just to get a Baron on field very early. That's just why I'm not a fan of it anymore. And also, I didn't realize this at this point, but the Terratop special summon effect is not a once per turn, so I could have summoned Terratop back to the field, but that would have been pretty counterproductive to like playing around the Nibiru that he has in his hand. So this is 3 summons. Car Turbo's 4, Baron is 5. So yeah, now he's not going to be able to use that Nibiru in his hand unless he has Imperm on top of that. So I go ahead and summon Talk. Talk tags for Duke. We go in for Rubber Band Shooter and the Elastic Vitesseroid. And then I go ahead and additional normal here for... I decided to additional normal immediately for Terratop. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. I think I just wanted a non-tuner body on field guaranteed, because if I went for double yo-yo here, it wasn't going to be guaranteed that I was going to get it. So I think that's why I did it. So I go for 2 tuners here, Dice and Fukimadoshi Piper. I get the Piper to hand, and then I go Duke for the Dice, target the Terratop, go into Corkscrew to do this whole line here. So right here, I can actually make Crystal Clearwing, and let's see if I actually make it. Yep, I do. So I do make the Crystal Clearwing here, and he tries to Nibiru me, and I do have to negate and destroy with the Baron. Obviously, I can't afford to lose my field to that. I mean, I could have chained this and like let everything else go, but that's just kind of pointless, I think. And then main phase 2, what happens here? Or during his turn, I think. Yeah, during his turn, he goes ahead and double Dragon Lords. Right? Am I seeing this correctly here? Okay, so what ends up happening is I actually use Baron to pop his double Dragon Lords, and then I use Car Turbo Engrave. And that actually makes his Gamma live, which I wasn't expecting. And I don't know if I actually chain the Crystal Clearwing here to the Gamma. I don't really think there's a reason to. So yeah, he gets those bodies on field, because I was going to OTK him here if he didn't have the Gamma in hand, which I wasn't expecting to have after him not gamming the Ash on his Fractal the last turn. So we established our field pretty easily here, and we swing in for a lot of damage, and we have Piper in hand for follow-up. During his standby phase, I used Baron to actually tag into Clearwing Fast Dragon, just because it's better than having a Baron on field that's not doing me anything. Granted, I could have summoned a Terratop there to get a search, but I just went for the bigger body instead. But he just goes ahead and scoops it up there anyways. Then moving into game 2 here. Looks like my opening hand is a Marble Machine. Terratop again. I'm telling you guys, if you're going to play Speedroids, get an ulti German one. It'll come to your hand every single match you play. But I had Marble, Terratop, Duke, Car Turbo, Lancia. So the Lancia again is going to be huge here. And I think my opponent has... is he actually... I'm curious here what happened. He has Gamma, Nerval or Fractal, Talents, Twin. Does he just pass turn? There's no way he just passes turn. Or did he make me go first? I think he let me go first, which is very strange. So I start with Terratop. He takes the bait. Gamma's the Terratop, which is like hitting this is like so wrong because it's just so free. And like if they have other cards in hand, you just wasted a Gamma. But either way, we go for the Marble, go for Car Turbo here. I was debating on whether or not I should go for Hagoita, but I do, and I go for the Tekatomborg. Tekatomborg tags for dice. Bring these back here. We make Baron, and then we bring out the Hagoita because we have the tuner on field. And then we link those into Rubber Band Shooter, reveal the Piper and the Yo-Yo. We get the Piper. Additional normal for Piper, reveal 2. And what do I get off of this? I think it's evenly Droplet. Yeah, so I get the Droplet. And I decided the evenly's in because, again, I was expecting to go second here, but he made me go first, which is rather strange. I still have the Lancia in hand as well. Then I don't go battle phase. I think I just let those get banished. Standby phase, or not standby phase, during his main phase, he does Twin, pitching that. It's the set Droplet. I was going to negate it, but I'm like, you know what? It's fine. That's completely okay. He goes and resolves the Nerval to go ahead and add a Karass. Summons Karass by pitching Kit. I Lancia him on summon. He goes Talents. I negate Talents. And he scoops from there, I believe. Or no, he doesn't scoop. He actually does Fractal, I think, from hand. Yeah, Fractal. And then he goes battle phase. And then on my next turn, I tag out for the Terratop with Baron. Terratop searches me the Tekatomborg. And then we go Duke into Charge Warrior. Synchro back into Baron with Piper and Charge Warrior. Draw a card. Summon out Tekatomborg. Summon out Car Turbo. And at this point, I'm just trying to reveal a lot off of my Piper. Because then we used... I'm like burning everything here. I really didn't like doing this, but I did it anyways. So Piper's going to go ahead and get to reveal 4. This card, I feel like it's such a win more card sometimes. It's a love-hate. And then I reveal 2 cards, basically. Triple Wheel in Marble, which is insane. And then I Synchro Shen here and just... I think just clean the game up with 2 set. Yeah, and the set was evenly in wheel. So we take that match 2-0 as well. We'll go ahead in round 3. So round 3 was the Dark Magician deck. My opponent just led with Dragoon, which was, you know, whatever, and 2 set back row. This deck is a little scary just because, like, if they have, like, the Eternal Soul with the Circle Up and Dragoon, that can actually be kind of a pain to out. Especially if you don't have something like Droplet, which I don't think I had here. Or maybe I do have Droplet in hand. I'm not sure. No, I have Crossout Designator. No Droplet. So I go ahead and win. And he actually negates the win with the Dragoon. So I was expecting that, him to negate the first thing I did. And then I go ahead, activate Speed Recovery to go ahead and bring out the dice. And then we summon out Car Turbo, which he strikes. Then I normal summon the other Car Turbo I had in my hand because I drew 2. Make the Rubber Band Shooter banish to 7, and then we go ahead, and I think I get the Lucky Path here with the Yo-Yo. Bring out that, get the Tekatomborg here. And it's weird because I already have Dice and Grave, so it's like, the sequencing here is a little weird, because I don't want to get like another Dice out of the deck if I'm playing it, because then I lose out on a potential extender. I have to like link into Charge Warrior first, get a free draw, and then Duke out for the dice, etc. All right, my camera just died, but what I was saying was I'm not really sure what was like 100% better here, whether it be like you know, going for Baron or something like Crystal Clear here, because like I think like both will do an okay job, but like Crystal Clear might just be harder for him to out. Like that's one thing like that I always have to try to understand is like what's going to be better against a specific deck. Is it going to be the Baron or is it going to be a Crystal Clear Wing? Because that card is like an absolute house to be able to deal with. But yeah, we have the charge where like it's kind of an awkward field here. And then I think I just go battle, or no, what do I do here? Oh yeah, I think I car turbo, boost everything up, and then I go battle phase because he negated Win with the Dragoon. But Win was in graveyard when he had the time to, when it came time for him to negate, because the Win discards his cost. So cards in the graveyard can't be destroyed. So Dragoon never gained the attack here. So we go ahead and banish 2. Everything gains 8. We run over for 8, 18, and then 28. Well, he actually summons off Eternal Soul, so he blocks a little bit of damage. Then I think he just, what does he do? He goes like Red Eyes Wyvern, I negate that. And then standby phase, I tag out for, what do I tag out here for? Did I not tag out with the, or no, he strikes the tag out effect of Baron, okay. Then recovery gets me back, yo-yo, normal yo-yo, bring out Terror Top, and yeah, the game is pretty much just over from here. Because this was just game on board right here anyway. So we go to game 2. And he goes first, just leads with Dragoon Pass, basically. Well, Dragoon Pass was Circle and a set, so like I was kind of worried it might be that Eternal Soul with Circle thing. But I did draw evenly. I think Wheel, Marble, Tetherwolf, and like a Yo-Yo or something it looks like. And maybe Droplet as well. Yeah, it looks like Droplet. So I evenly get rid of the 2 back row. Activate Wheel, discarding Marble. And I roll a 4 here, summoning out both Duke and Dice. And then I normal summon Tetherwolf right into the wheel. We get really lucky here because we can get a Duke on field and an extra body to pair with a Tetherwolf. So we get Baron on field very, very early into the Speedroid Link. Banish a 6 this time. He ashes, which I'm okay with because I have Yo-Yo in hand already. Bring out the Dice. Go into Cork Shooter. And again, here it's like I can make this a 6, go into Crystal Clearwing, or I could just, you know, make Crystal Wing by not using any of the level manipulation effects. I should have gone for Crystal Clear here. That's probably just much better. Actually, no, well, because I can go double Crystal Wing here. Well, like, even if I make... No, because I had to make a Goy to get the double Crystal Wing. Okay, so it's double Crystal Wing. Or no, I make Kite Drake. Okay, yeah. We're getting real saucy here. Kite Drake to negate his Dragoon, basically. Yeah, Kite Drake just becomes like a breakthrough skill here. And I also Droplet the Dragoon to half it, and then I just OTK him there, basically. So, or yeah, because I pop it with the... So I forgot about Evenly, because a lot had passed since I Evenlead. But I pop his Dragoon and leave him top decking, and his top deck was like a called by, so we went back and, you know, he still lost either way because he wasn't playing through those 2 interruptions. So that was round 3. Let's take a look at round 4. So round 4, I played against my friend Johnny. He was on the Tri-Brigade Leader Lust deck. This deck has been, you know, popping up everywhere at our locals. I think we had like 40 players at my most recent Saturday locals, which I think was like the end of week 2, which you guys will see about, you know, in a little while come the second episode. But we had 40 people, and we had like 8 Tri-Brigade players. So like this deck is getting so much more popular. The Bird version, the pure Tri-Brigade version, so much. And I played against my man Johnny here, who was on the deck. I think I'd play tested him like, play tested against him a little bit the night before, or maybe a couple nights before. And my opening hand was Imperm, Recovery, Win, and Marble, and probably a Droplet in hand there too. Yeah. So this hand is like so incredibly susceptible to an Ash. And he goes on Ashes the Win. So like, and I had Recovery in hand too. So like I could have, if this was like literally anything else, I could have recovered it back and like made a play. But unfortunately, Marble Machines only when normal summon for some reason. Same thing with Hound. Yeah, it is what it is. Then he starts with like, I'm just burning all my interruptions because I have no idea what to stop in this deck. So I hit this card here, and then he makes Recital Starling, and I drop with it, pitching the Recovery. He makes the Zeus, sets 1 pass. During my turn, I actually, what do I draw into for turn? I'm not sure, but I use Recovery to add back the Marble, normal Marble. He chains Zeus, and yeah, it's just pretty much GG's from there. We go into game 2. He was gonna set up the Wind Barrier statue, but then he was like, wait, I need to summon out something else from the deck instead, because that wasn't gonna be very good. So here we are in game 2. I opened up Gravity Collapse, I think, Ash, Win, Marble Machine, and another Win. So I go Win, pitch, Win. He ashes it, but again, luckily here I have the starter hand to punish him, basically, because, you know, that was basically a wasted Ash. Not technically. I did go -2 if you want to put it that way. But there are better things to Ash, like the Link. So yeah, we go ahead and get the Duke out of the deck, and we go right for... I was debating here going for Link or going for just the Hagoi to try to play around Crystal or Nibiru as much as possible, like the double Crystal Wing play. But I don't know if I had the resources in hand necessary. No, I had Ash Gravity Clap, so I definitely wasn't playing around Nib regardless there. So I get the double Yo-Yo, or I don't get the Yo-Yo, I get the Terror Top, summon Dice, do all this stuff, make Baron here, and we have the Gravity Clap set. We Ash his Fractal, he goes Prosperity, I negate, and he scoops. So we're on to a game 3 against this deck. Very, very close to a 4-0 finish here. In game 3, what was my opening hand here? It was Ash, Marble Machine. I can't see the rest, but he starts Fractal. I Ash. He has Talents into Bird Call. And he basically just proceeds to go off into the Ensemble Blue Robin, which is basically a triple compulse right now for special summoned monsters. So I have to like do a lot to try and out this, and any hand traps he has on top of this is going to be especially difficult to deal with. So I go ahead and start with Wind pitching Car Turbo to go ahead and search. I had Tetherwolf here. Tetherwolf going to be a huge commodity at this point. We're going to normal summon it, bring out the token, and, you know, he could bounce back the token, but, like, that's just a waste of a bounce, in my opinion. And this is also at 1,700, too, right now. So if he bounces the token, I can still crash. But anyways, I go Battle Phase, use the damage step effect of Tetherwolf to tribute the token to make it gain 800. So I'm able to clear the Blue Robin extremely early, extremely easy, and keep my Tetherwolf on field. And then I summon out the Car Turbo and link into the Rubber Band. He has the Imperm for it, which hurts like a metric ton. And then I go ahead and use Speedroid Wheel here, and I roll a 3, which is something. It's certainly not nothing. And I go ahead and summon out these. And I could Synchro here into Cork Shooter, but he has Nibiru. There's a card I just absolutely despise. It only punishes Faradex, and then, yeah, he's able to just make sure Egg and go for game next turn anyways. So, yeah, that was our Saturday locals. We were able to actually go 3-1, and we did get second place, and I think the deck performed pretty well. There were some plays just watching back there I could have made, like, a little bit more optimal. I didn't see Crossout Designator when I needed to, apparently, so, like, yeah, it is what it is. Nibiru hurts quite a bit. Also, let me know if you guys like this style of match recap for Tuesdays. I'm going to try to keep them quick and detailed enough, but let me know. Let me know if you guys like this, or if you prefer even shorter recaps for Tuesdays and save the longer recaps for Saturdays. Just let me know down in the comments below. But let's see where we take it from here. A lot of things have transpired this past week. Not only did we have, of course, the release of Synchro Storm, but with the release of Burst of Destiny, not really too many cards in that set that could be used, obviously, with the Speedroid tactic. Obviously, we can't play Phoenix Enforcer, all those things, but there is one spell card in particular, and it's this card right here, Small World, which I actually just uploaded my Speedroid deck profile today as I'm filming this, and I think this video will be going up about exactly a week after that video. I have already made a few changes to the deck profile. I think there's only been maybe a change of, I want to say, like 4 or 5 cards, so nothing like extremely drastic, but the one change I did make was adding in a second Small World, as I was able to get my hands on another copy. But before we do go to locals, I just want to run through the deck list really quickly with you guys. Before I show you guys my current list, I just want to show you this little field center that I won the previous Saturday at our OTS tournament we had, and I ended up getting 5th with Speedroids. So yeah, some success so far already. You gotta love to see it. But starters, we have 2 Small World. This card I would like to experiment with a 3rd at some point. The 1 Terror Top, obviously, and then we have the 1 Hound as 2 level 3s. 2 Tetherwolf. I've been so back and forth on this card, but like it is a really, really good starter to open. Like alone, it just gets you into Rubber Band Shooter by itself. It can out problematic cards like Blue Robin, Dark Law, Winda, and lets you do some high ceiling combos with Baron. 3 Marble, not much to be said there. Standard, same thing with 3 Win. Standard as well. And you also notice I'm not playing Wheel anymore. I just figured that with playing Small World and Win and Droplet, like there's just too many cards I had in my deck that required discards, and there was some conflictions. 3 card turbo, still standard. Same thing with 3 Tekatomborg, the double Duke, and the double Hasty Horse. Not much has changed there. Then we have the 3 speed recovery, of course, the 1 yo-yo and the 1 dice as like our other like additional extenders or additional extenders. And then we have the 1 duplicate as well for our potential target to send off of Hound or search target off of Cork Shooter. And then hand traps we have here. We have 2 Imperm, Droll, Ash, and Lancia. All cross out designator targets as well, as I'm still playing that card. 2 talents though, 2 droplet, and 3 cross out to round out the main. I have 5 sort of anti-hand trap cards. I was playing the 3 droplet, but like I said, like there were some hands where like I would draw multiple of these and it would just be really, really bad. I don't know. I think this is fine. I think I have like 9 or 10 going second cards right now, and even going games 2 and 3. Small World again can be a going second card because we can search out the Godarla. And we'll go into the extra deck really quick here. Not much has changed. 1 Clearwing Rider, 1 Baron, 1 Crystal Clear, double Crystal Wing, the Kite Drake, the Clearwing, the Pegasus, the Star Discharge, Chambara, Hagoita, Puzzle, double Cork Shooter, and Rubber Band Shooter. That's all the same. And then my side deck currently is 2 Lancia to complement the 3rd in the main, 2 Droll again to complement the 3rd in the main, 1 Nibiru just as a cross-out designator target deciding like going first certain games, like games 2 or 3. That may come out at some point for something else though. 1 Godarla, the search target, going second off of Small World. 1 Duster for back row hate. Same thing with the triple evenly matched. More back row hate. 3 Gravity Collapse. This card is absolutely insane. For those that don't know what this does, when your opponent would summon a monster, you contribute a face-up Synchro monster you control and send it to the graveyard, and then you negate that summon and destroy that card, and then your opponent cannot summon a monster until the end of the turn, which is actually just insane. Like, it literally just ends turns. Then double goes and match. This card is like good against Sword Soul, Prank Kids, Tri Brigade, like a whole slew of decks, and I wanted a little bit more going first cards in the sideboard. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. No wheel. We're going to try that out today. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys regarding the list. And I should probably bring you guys up to speed on what happened yesterday. As you guys know, I usually go to a friend's house to do some testing, and that's what I did. But before I left, I actually went to my locals to grab a box of Burst. I opened it down here, and I streamed it on Discord for some of my friends, and I actually pulled a Phoenix Enforcer, so huge plus there. Really happy to own that card. I've got my 3 Fusion Destiny. I just need to pick up Celestial and Dasher at some point, but luckily we don't need it right now. But then when I went to my friend's house, we all, I think between all of us, maybe all 5 or 6 of us, cracked like 8 boxes of Burst or something. My one friend Adam, he opened up 3, pulled a Starlight Rare Cheese out, which was insane, especially since he is playing Sword Soul today, so super happy for him to get that amazing pull to go in his deck. It's going to look very, very nice. I think that's like one of the best looking Starlight Rares I've seen in a long time. The box that I opened up there had the Ice Jade Secret Rare and a Small World. And I got shorted an Ultra. I mean, like, I guess it could have been worse. I'll take the Small World for what it's worth. And after everybody opened their boxes, I was able to secure a lot of Sword Soul cards myself. I'm just missing 1 Moyi and 3 Ecclesia. And I'll be able to complete the entire core, which is awesome because that's a deck I actually want to play at some point down the road, and I'm only just a few cards away from being able to do that. So yeah, maybe you guys will see a Sword Soul 1 deck 1 month at some point. Let me know if that's something you want to see down in the comments below. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to update you guys on before I leave for locals. I had to do a ton of like packing before I leave and preparing because there's a ton of cards I have to bring to people to sell and borrow, and all these other things. So I gotta make sure all that's in order so I don't forget anything. And yeah, I'll see you guys at locals in just a little bit. All right, everybody, welcome to round one of our first Saturday locals with Speedroid. Round one, I ended up winning the die roll. No, I lost die roll, and my opponent let me go first, which isn't surprising because they were on Cyber Dragon like they usually are, as if the playmat didn't give it away. But I was feeling okay in this matchup because, we didn't end on one extra deck monster for them to contact fusion away. I'm looking at you, Marincess. So that was kind of relieving. But, we climbed into Rubber Band Shooter, banished a 7, and we continued about our combo as normal. I think I got the lucky path here with the double yo-yo, but didn't open up, enough extenders. Had to start with the Marble Machine. So we just ended on a Baroness with set 2 and an end phase add back off of Puzzle. And I believe my opponent led with an Infinite Impermanence, which I immediately crossed out. And then I think he went into a Cyber Dragon and then normal summoned a hers and actually contact fusioned away my Yo-Yo and Rubber Band Shooter into a Chimera Tech. And then I think he searched off of his hers. We drolled him on Resolution, which ended up being really solid. It did slow him down by quite a bit. So from there, he was just forced to go into the battle phase, crash with my Baron, and swing in for 21. So we were able to, fight off an OTK there, which is pretty nice. And then on my next turn, we did have plenty of follow-up, thanks to the Puzzle adding back in our end phase. We're able to climb up into Clearwing Rider. And I actually rolled a 6, funny enough, so would have been able to pop 6 cards there if he had 6. But we just cleared 1, and then we were able to make a Crystal Wing after that. And that was just game, I believe, right then and there with the help of Card Turbo. So we take game 1 rather quickly. Let's go ahead and look at game 2 now. So game 2, my opponent decided to go first here, and he did not open up well, as was evident by him starting with Fusion Destiny, sending both the bricks, and summoning out an Enforcer and just passing turn. So I was a little relieved to see that, rather stare that down than like Infinity Enforcer set Overflow. So I just led with Imperm and opened with the Marble Machine. And I think I proceeded to combo into the Rubber Band Shooter with Hagoita on field. So I ended up banishing a 5 to go for double Yo-Yo and Dice. That would have allowed me to set up Baron Crystal Wing, or I think if I was playing Cosmic Blazar, we could have made Cosmic Blazar Crystal Wing if I would have gotten the double Yo-Yo, but I didn't get it anyways. So we're just able to make Baron Crystal Wing, clear his field, and actually OTK right here with the help of Card Turbo, because Baron is at 38, Crystal Wing is at 38, and the Rubber Band Shooter is 18. Baron's able to pop his Dead Phoenix Enforcer, and yeah, we literally just OTK, so we're already 1-0 at our first Saturday locals with the deck, feeling very confident, and yeah, hopefully things continue going this smooth from here on out. All right, guys, so we just finished up our round 2 matchup. I played against my good friend Colin, and I knew going into it was going to be a very tough match because he is a very good player and is always on a very, very strong deck, and today was no exception, of course. Tri-Brigade with the Phoenix Enforcer package. Funny enough, that was my Phoenix Enforcer that he summoned because I'm letting him borrow it for today, since obviously we have no use for it. But game 2 there, I'm surprised the Duplicate actually bought me a turn by bouncing the Fractal back to his hand. I was expecting him to have a Karas in his hand 100% to follow up, but luckily he didn't. And Duplicate was actually able to help us extend into Rubber Band Shooter. We had the cross out. Unfortunately, I drew 2 cross outs, actually, both games, 1 and 2. Didn't really help. But, I guess I can't 100% complain, even though I would have wished the second cross out doesn't. It was literally anything else in my deck, like Talents. But I normal summoned the Terror Top, and I had 2 options. It was either to search Marble Machine or just to search search Marble Machine or Tekatomborg. And I went for the Tekatomborg play because I was going to go Dice, Target, and go into Cork Shooter, do that whole line, try to get into Baroness at the end phase add back off of Puzzle, because I had Gravity Collapse too, and I was like, this is just coming all together here to take this game. What I should have done instead was normaled the Terror Top, additional normaled the Marble search Car Turbo, since I had a Duke Engrave still, and then I make Higoita. If he Nibiru's me there, I can still at least make a Crystal Wing with all the stuff I have engraved. Because I've been 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I don't even think I had a way to get to Higoita in under 5 summons. So, like, I don't really think it mattered either way. But, like, Gamma on Tekatomborg with no other extenders in hand hurts a lot, apparently. So, but yeah, we're going to try to win out the rest of our matches. I'm going to try not to let it get to me, even though it is very, very frustrating. But yeah, I don't really think I had a true way to play through the Nibiru. But yeah, it is what it is. So I'll see you guys after the tournament like usual. All right, everybody, just like that, we are in round 4. If you want to see how my round 2 went, it was actually a feature match on the channel, so I'll leave a link to that up in the top right. Round 3, we played against a Cyberdark deck. We were able to take that one 2-0. Turns out evenly matched is a pretty good card. And that brings us here to round 4. We were playing against a Phantom Knight deck, and pleasantly surprised to see that I won the die roll. And as you can see, Hasty Horse helping us get into the Rubber Band Shooter, and we actually get the lucky path here, getting the double yo-yo. Double yo-yo is going to bring out the Terror Top as a result, and my opponent actually has Nibiru the Primal Being, aka the card that only punishes fair decks. And I was actually so flustered by this because I'd gotten hit with Nibiru so many times today that I actually forgot to search off my Terror Top. So that is completely on me, and I actually didn't even realize that I forgot to search off the Terror Top until now. But my opponent, you know, combos off, right? I have a set Droplet and Imperm with another Droplet in hand. So the Droplets, you know, gonna put in some work here. I'm able to Imperm the Rusty. My opponent actually forgets to bring back Cherubine off of Seer, which I find kind of funny. But then he brings out the Torn Scale, and I actually hit it with the Droplet. I know it's not the best thing to Droplet, but like I was just trying any and everything to stop him from comboing, so that I might get a second turn, which luckily I do. He just goes into the Anaconda, I believe, because, you know, why not be able to keep, or no, it doesn't even go into Anaconda. He just goes into Fusion Destiny, because why not give a deck like PK another cherry on top for their end board? Not that it's like the great, like if he would have made Dragoon here, I would have been in a far worse position. So I'll take Phoenix Enforcer. But I top deck a Marble Machine, and he ashes it too. So we lose game 1 very quickly. Let's go ahead and take a look at game 2. So game 2 here, things looking a little familiar. We start with a copy of Marble Machine, and we basically combo our way into Rubber Band Shooter. Go ahead and banish a 7, and, you know, interestingly enough, my opponent has Nibiru again. 2 games in a row at the exact same point every time. Just literally couldn't catch a break here. Now, I did have a Talents in hand to hit a Torn Scales out of his hand. It was supposed to go back into the deck, but my opponent ended up discarding it on accident, but it does go back into the deck momentarily, because I was like, wait a minute, where did this Torn Scales come from? I also had Lancia and a Nibiru in hand of my own. I mean, he really played it out and never gave me a good opportunity to use either of those hand traps, so like, because he just defaulted to going for like Enforcer, and that was pretty much it. But like I just couldn't win from that position because all I had in hand was a Marble Machine, and you know, after getting Nibiru, I think like 4 or 5 times in a tournament, really wasn't feeling it at that point, needless to say. So yeah, we end up losing this match 2-0, and you know, it is what it is, right? Alright, everybody, time to recap our first week back with Speedroids yet again. And first impressions right now is the deck is hard to play. It's very, very hard to play, especially with like so many new cards to work with. Mainly the lines you can do with Cork Shooter. Like, the way the deck was played before is completely different now. Like, all the combos and play lines that we were trying to go for in the past are a lot different now. Yes, we can still technically go for them, but they're not nearly as good as the new plays that we can go for. And being able to discern, you know, which plays are the best to go for any given hand against any given deck is also kind of hard to account for. We did really well on Tuesday. We ended up going 3-1, getting second place, only losing to the Tri-Brigade Leaderlusk deck. And then, you know, this past Saturday, we got a little unlucky, especially in that round 4 match, like you guys saw. Nibiru back-to-back, both games, no cross-out designator in hand. In fact, I think I sided in one Nibiru for a cross-out target because I wasn't playing Nibiru in main deck, which I definitely am now going forward. And like, that just goes to show that I think cross-out is like a mandatory card to play in Speedroids. I think the way I have it, my current core is sitting at around like 24 cards, so I have a lot of room for cross-out and then a bunch of targets to go with it. And I think that's definitely the move, because like a lot of your combos can die by any given one hand trap. Like if you open up Win in one Win monster and that's your only way to play, and if they have Ash, they have Ash. Like your turn just ends. So seeing Crossout Designator or Triple Tactics talents to hopefully try and recover from that is like extremely important. So play Crossout in this deck if you're gonna do it. At least that's my main takeaway, because Nibiru, Imperm, Ash can just like literally be turn enders. If you don't have Crossout and can't get your hands on it just yet, I'd definitely play Call by the Grave. Definitely invest in Triple Tactics talents if you can, because like you just need the help from fighting through hand traps. I think one thing I'm gonna do going forward is side some board breaking cards into the side deck for games 2 and 3. Like Dark Ruler and Droplet. So if I go first games 2 and 3, I can side those in to have as cross-out targets, because our board, I'm also realizing, is kind of susceptible to Dark Ruler, and a lot more people have been playing Dark Ruler in this current meta. Moving into week 2, I think we're making a lot of really good optimization tweaks to the deck list. It's getting very, very consistent, and I'm really liking where the deck list is heading, and you guys will see that at the start of week 2. And as I'm filming this, I'm actually about to wrap up week 2, so you guys have that to look forward to. Yeah, so far, I mean, we have, what was it, a 5-3 record for our first week. That's not bad. 5-3, you know, we're positive, still better than Photon Galaxy. Yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling very positive for the future. Still slowly learning the deck, learning play lines, understanding, you know, the ratios we played in the past. Are those the same ratios we still need to play, you know, going forward, right? Because again, so many things have changed with the deck. Like, one Terratop gets you so much now. One Terratop gets you Crystal Wing and Baron de Fleur, which is really, really good, plus follow-up. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to rework everything. It's kind of like building the deck from scratch, because you can't continue to play the deck like you did in the past and just accommodate for things like Corkscrew. You have to, like, change the deck around it and everything. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And as always, Winner Kills signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one. And finally, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members, and they are Cadillacs84, Pony Star, Keith Sidgers, Tweeter0226, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much for your extremely generous support of this channel as always.